Hey folks, Landstryder here, and you're watching episode 6 of my modded Minecraft server play series. I'm hanging out on the server, flying solo right now, and I just got up. You see, you can see I changed my sheets on my carpenter's bed. You can accomplish that by using the carpenter's hammer on it, and you can change the design of the sheets. That's pretty cool. A bunch of different ones. That's a plain one, and there's what it was right now. I also applied a texture to the frame and made it stone. Thought that looked nice. Okay, can you see right here I've been cleared out an area for some machinery, and I've built these survivalist generators. These are really cheap to make. The thing about them is they do not produce a lot of power. At any given time they only produce 5 RF a tick. It's pretty low, but they get a lot of power out of your fuel. So you can build a bunch of these, and let's see, with 8 of them I'm getting 40 RF a tick total. So yeah, it's not a ton of power, but they'll build up, and they can transmit this stored up power, you know, much faster than this rate. So, but they'll only build it up at a relatively slow rate. So that shouldn't be too big of a deal for me. I don't have a ton of machines that I want to run at this point. So, and then later on, I can build a big reactor to produce a lot of power for when I need it. But right now, for the couple machines I want to run, these should be sufficient. And we can look at the recipe of those. There's a bunch of different generators. These are all available through the extra utilities mod. If we look at these generators that I'm talking about, we've got the survivalist generator that I made. That's the lowest one, lowest tier. The furnace generator, that produces quite a bit more power, but it also burns fuel quicker, of course. The lava generator, pretty much as it sounds, it makes lava. It's, you know, turns lava into power. The ender generator, which can produce power from either ender pearls or ender lily seeds. I don't know if it produces power from anything else. The heated redstone generator, and this produces quite a bit of power, but it takes liquefied redstone or destabilized redstone in it. And I think it just takes that. It might take a secondary fuel too. But the culinary generator, one of my favorites. If you have a surplus of food items, you can toss them in the culinary generator, and it'll produce power based on the food item. The better the food, the more the power generator it'll make. Potion generator, another one of my favorites. And if you would like to see all about potion generator, you can check that out on my Agrarian Sky series. I used this power for my power generation for a long time in the earlier episodes of the Agrarian Sky series. It has a very nice setup, I think. I liked it. The solar generator, the problem with this one, and it does produce free power from the sun, but it can't produce power and send power at the same time. So you have to apply a redstone signal to it to send the power. Which can probably be accomplished pretty easy with a solar detector, light detector I mean. So there's a system could be set up with that, but you probably want a battery system with it to go with it. Moving along, TNT generator. This will produce power from TNT, pretty much as it says, but it makes explosions around the generator all the time. Kind of dangerous to have around. Pink generator. This one I think he just kind of put in as a joke, but it produces power from anything with pink in the name, like pink dye or pink stained saplings. Pretty much anything pink can go in there and it'll make power. The high temperature furnace generator. This one's kind of a little bit of a mystery to me about how it's supposed to work, but the way I understand it, basically the more fuel it has, the better efficiency it is, or the more power it produces. Maybe it goes down in efficiency as it gives it more power, but basically you have to feed this thing a ton of fuel to get a high power rating out of it. I don't particularly use it. If you had like ridiculous amounts of fuel, items that you can feed into it, it might be good for that. And another one that I really like, and I might even use it at some point, is the Nether Star generator. And as that sounds, it produces power from Nether Star, and this produces a whopping amount of power for a very short period of time. The thing about this one, though, is you do not want to be near it when it is on, because it will kill you if you're anywhere near it while it's running. The nice thing is you can run it for just a short period of time and charge up a large bank of power cells of some sort, depending on what you use. So these are the generators from extra utilities. Now let's look at some of the other power generation possibilities in this mod pack real quick. Some of the other ones we have are dynamos. These are the thermal expansion power generators, and these all produce the same amount of power per tick. They just require different fuels. There's the steam dynamo, requires a solid fuel and water. There's the magmatic dynamo. This is the only one that takes a single fuel, and it just takes lava. There's the compression dynamo, which requires a liquid fuel and water. And then there's the reactant dynamo that requires some very strange fuels. It requires things like destabilized redstone and gunpowder, and this is only like a couple of the combinations of things you can put in there. You can put sugar in there, you can put gunpowder in there for the solid reactant, and then it needs a liquid fuel, and you can put destabilized redstone, you can put sludge, you can put liquefied or glowstone liquefied in there. A bunch of different fuels that I use, but it does require two different fuels, a reactant and something else. So those are the thermal expansion power generation stuff. I don't believe there is some from Minefactory Reloaded. That would be the biofuel generator. Be it bioreactor. Well, the bioreactor makes the fuel for the I think it's biogenerator. That's not it. Why doesn't it show up here? Generator. Oh, there it is, right there. Biofuel generator from the Minefactory Reloaded, and this produces a certain amount of. It's really not bad, and you can power 4 or 5 of these off of one bioreactor and produce a good amount of RF. I don't have the exact statistics on that. And then there we also have forestry engines. I'm not going to be using any of these. These all produce MJs, which can then be converted into RF, which is the majority of what our machines run off of, except of course for the forestry machines. And RF can be converted back into MJs for the forestry machines using conduits. You can use either the thermal expansion conduits, or you can use the conduits from EnderIO. And these will convert automatically from MJ to RF and vice versa. Okay, so that's pretty much the oh, well, I guess I should talk real quick. If I'm talking about power things, we should look at big reactors. So let me look at that real quick. We're going to look at big reactor stuff. And again, this is something that you can see in depth on my other series, my Agrarian Skies series, where I built a, I believe it's 7x7 big reactor. It's pretty big. It's a big reactor. There's 2 different kinds of reactors that you can build with this. There's the regular, just the standard reactor, which you have to pretty much start with. Uses these reactor casings and reactor controller. I'll get into more of this later when I build one. I'll probably show it again, just because it is kind of interesting, and this will be my second time around through it, so I should be pretty quick and pretty good with it at this point. And then once you have a big reactor and you've had it running for a while, you can get the materials to make a turbine. And then you can switch your reactor from making RF directly into making steam for your turbine. And it will produce and consume a lot of steam. A really big structure produces and can be used to produce a astronomical amount of power. And there are things that we actually can spend that astronomical amount of power on. Most importantly being the laser drill. That's probably one of the biggest power consumers that we have in the pack. If we was to go ahead and build it, that can burn up quite a lot of power. Also, the BuildCraft lasers laser table can burn up quite a bit of power as well if you're using that to craft things with. And you can produce a lot of lasers and power them with that big reactor. These right here would not be sufficient for such things. These are just going to power a couple of little machines that I'm going to build, and that is what I am about to do right now, because I need a sag mill, or I'd like a sag mill. You can see I've gone ahead and I've got some chassis, I've got some basic capacitors. If we look at the recipe for these are EnderIO components that go into making the sag mill. I was about to run down into the cave system and look for some more gravel, because I used up all my gravel making grout to expand the smelter there. You can kind of see it right now, but I'll look at that here in a second. And then the other machine that I want to make is an alloy smelter. And this one is pretty similar recipe, still takes basic chassis, capacitor. This one's furnace. These actually not hard to, I think I have all these components right now. But let's go, whoops, did not mean to do that. Okay, so there's something I should mention about these doors. Whoops, also did not mean to do that. About doors, particularly the carpenter's door. When you apply a whatever to it, a texture to it, and it takes on that texture, it also takes on that block's hardness property. So you see how easily I smashed it with the pickaxe. That's because it had the hardness of glass. Doesn't make it any less destructible to zombies, but it is something to consider for, say, creepers. So like if you wanted a door that the creepers wouldn't be able to blow off the hinges, you would want to use obsidian or something hard like that. So yeah, something to think about when you're building those. I just wanted a door there to block any potential things from coming all the way up these steps, but I haven't really had a problem yet with anything coming up here. So I gotta run down here, I gotta find me some gravel real quick just so I can get those 3 pieces of flint. I'm gonna switch into bat form for that so that I don't have any trouble with anything I run across. So here's some gravel. I don't want to get too much. For this mod pack, because of the Iguana Tweaks, you don't have a chance of, there's no chance for flint to drop from the gravel. Instead, you have to get 4 pieces of gravel and craft those in a crafting window into flint. So I need 1, 2, 3 for my machine. I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit more while I'm right here. Clean up this gravel spot, maybe some of it. Looks like it might be big. Let me get a little bit more. It's not too big. Anything interesting else down here while I'm down here? Does not look like it too much. Bunch of gravel. Some Ventium ore for Ars Magicia. I got a couple pieces of that already. I probably will need more eventually, but I think I mentioned I might do Ars Magicia in my last episode for this episode, but I thought I needed to dedicate an episode to machinery and non-magic stuff, just because I need the logistics and some stuff in the base to start crafting some things that I'm going to use for the mass storage system, which is I just need something to sort all my stuff. I'm getting a lot of items. My chests are filling up. I'm running out of places to put things. So I didn't want to like just do it all off camera, so I'm going to dedicate a quick episode to making some machinery and getting some of that logistics set up. And I wanted to go over the power options in the pack for anybody who was interested in the other guys on the server that might be playing the pack. So that's the power options. Now we're going to look at machinery now. There's about, I would say there's 3 different types of machinery that you're going to encounter in the pack. That's the machinery from EnderIO. Those are the ones I'm building right now. There's the machinery from thermal expansion. And there's a lot of different machines. There's the magma crucible fluid transposer, all this stuff. It requires different things, and I will need to build some of these parts to make some of the stuff I want to have. I will definitely need at least a magma crucible and fluid transposer. I might also need a induction smelter from the thermal expansion because I haven't done the upgraded configuration yet. Once I do the upgraded configuration after the first update to the pack, I will not necessarily need those thermal expansions as much anymore because I will be able to accomplish most everything using the alloy smelter from EnderIO. So let's look at building that stuff now. So alloy, get that alloy smelter. What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing the bricks in the furnace. So I got to grab some cobble. Oh yeah, I moved some things around in here a little bit. Grab some cobble. Make a furnace. And then I'm also going to need some bricks. A couple bricks for that. So let's try that again. There we go. There's my alloy smelter. And then I also would like a sag mill. So the sag mill is similar to the pulverizer where it will double ores and it'll grind stuff up. I think it might have more recipes, and the recipes for these 2 devices are actually highly configurable in the config valve. So for right now I'm just going to stick these right there and right there so that they're going to draw power out of these 2 generators to fill up their internal buffer, and I'll be able to utilize them to make a few things potentially. And then once I have the items that I need to connect the generators, I'll be able to move them down and then run conduit all the way around for a bunch of machinery in there. So what I am looking to make to connect all these is conduits, and I might need to make a few more machines, specifically the painter from EnderIO. I'm looking to make these guys right here energy conduits, so I need conductive iron, which is redstone and iron ingots in an alloy smelter. So do I have enough redstone? I have like 2 redstone in my inventory. Is that all the redstone I have? It might be. Yeah, it is. Bummer. So I'm going to have to go find some redstone. Well, yeah, I need at least 3 pieces of conductive iron. Would probably work for now. So I'm going to go back down, mine for some redstone, and I'll be back in a moment once I find that. Okay, I'm back. I didn't have to search too long. I got me stacking a little bit more of redstone. I also found a few diamonds and some gold while I was down there, while I was looking. And I can get right to building the next part here. My alloy smelter should have plenty of power. It does, fully powered now. And if I put, you notice this little button over here, furnace mode, all smelting. That means it basically looks for any recipe that it can as soon as you put it in there, whether it be a furnace recipe or a special smelting recipe. Now you don't want to just throw iron in there. If I did, there's a recipe for that in a regular furnace, which will turn it into dart iron, which is not what I want. So I'm going to switch this to alloys only. So now if I put iron in there, it won't do nothing until it gets something else in there that's going to say this is what, okay, and I want, let's see, it takes 2 per, I want 9, so I need 18 in there. And that's going to give me the total number of ingots that I want. From that, let's talk about the sag mill real quick. If I throw, say, this iron or this gold ore in there, it's going to process it similar to a pulverizer, where it has a chance of producing, well, it's going to double the ore. And you can see here it also gave me some copper powder. So it actually has a chance of producing extra materials if I process my ores in here. It doesn't always give it you extra materials, and depending on what you throw in there, you get some different materials. So it's not exactly the same as a pulverizer, because I think the secondary products might be different from what you might get from processing in a pulverizer. But anyway, really neat device where it's very similar to other ore doubling mechanics, where you get extra materials occasionally. So do that while that's waiting, and then I can take and melt these things down in the smeltery just like I would any other ingot or pulverized ore type. So that time I actually got cobble out of the ore, so you can get a little bit more bang for your buck, I guess, with the sag mill than, say, some other ore doubling mechanics. I mean, this right here, I mean, I love the smeltery, don't get me wrong, but it does only just double whatever ore you put in there. So if I put that gold in there, I wouldn't have got any copper or nothing like that. I would have just got twice as many gold. I would have got 16 ingots of gold. But now I get 16 ingots of gold and 2 ingots of copper and a piece of cobblestone. That cobblestone is nothing special, but you can see I can put these in here and it'll start melting those down just like it would anything else, and then I'll end up with regular ingots once I cast those out. Yeah, found some Certus quartz while I was down there too, and I'm going to need that for that mass storage system I was talking about. Go ahead and toss some of this stuff in here, and I can go ahead and put all that extra cobblestone and dirt that I picked up down there away. That's helpful. Need to make a few more barrels, I think, for some other stuff that I have quite a bit of. But first, I'm going to eat some bread so I can get my health back up. Flying around in bat form does take more hunger than just walking around as a regular person. So now that there's... oh, I'm going to need some other things first, I think. Unless I already have them here. Do I already have them? I'm going to need some conduit binder, that stuff right here, and that's made with the conduit, the binder composite, and that's made with gravel, sand, and clay. Similar, well, I guess kind of similar to grout, but a lot more gravel than the other materials. So good thing that I brought some gravel back up. Now, do I have sand? I thought I had sand. Yeah, there's a little bit of sand. And I should have clay. There we go. Did I get it? I think I got it. There we go. Now I got it. So clay, sand, and gravel will give me binder composite. I'm gonna have to go collect some more sand before too long, but there's plenty of it around here, so no worries on that. Now, when I cook this conduit or binder composite up, and you might notice these look a little different than maybe the last time you've seen them. These are not your regular furnace. These are Dartcraft force furnaces, and you can see the interface is quite different than a regular furnace. You have a upgrade slot up here, so I could actually make these I could improve these furnaces with a special upgrade. They don't really waste fuel. You'll see that the fuel is slightly burned up from the last piece that it put in, but it's not burning down. So they are very efficient on the fuel. But other than that, they pretty much work like a regular furnace. A little bit faster than a regular furnace. They actually process. I think they process faster. It seems like to me. I'm pretty sure about that. So, where did I put that alloy? Didn't I have it in my inventory? Maybe I didn't get it out of here. Did I not get it out of there? What's around here somewhere? Did it end up in there? Yes, it did. It ended up in there. So let me just grab the rest of those out and I can make a bunch of this stuff right now. This is going to be my probably enough for quite a while. 24 of these. Yeah, that's going to be more than enough for the time being. So now I need to pick these guys up. So I'm going to use my precision sledgehammer. Hopefully this will work on these. Yes, it does. And this will actually retain its power level. You'll be able to see that when I stick it back down here and I open up the and maybe not. Maybe it doesn't retain it when you pick them up with the precision sledge. I know, or maybe that's a 172 feature that I don't know. That yeah, must be a 172 feature. I was just using this in the 172 pack, and they retained their power. So I guess in the 164 pack they don't retain their power. Not a big deal. And I can fill them back up. So now this stuff will attach, and you can see I got power going to all these now, and it's drawing power out of there into my energy conduits. I can go ahead and do that on this side as well. And then I can also go ahead and just gonna do this like so. I don't need the top area open, but I'm gonna have these come around, and then now I can put 3 more machines down here at the end if I want to, or whatever. I have a lot of places I can put machines, and they'll be on the power grid, and that's my power grid. So that's the machinery I need for now. There is one other thing that I want to do before I finish up this episode, and that is to make one more machine called the painter. There it is right there. And I think I have nether quartz. I don't know if I have any tin. Do I have tin? Do I have even tin ore? I do have tin ore. So if I go ahead and sag this, and wait, and I really like some of the stuff that's going on with this mod, this EnderIO mod, especially in the 172 pack, and I will be having 172 series coming out before too long. But that's not till after my Agrarian Skies series wraps up. So look forward to that. And okay, so I'm getting tin ore. I'm looking forward to it anyway. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the alloy smelter here to cook that down into ingots, just because I can. And you'll notice that when you're doing some things, it will process 3 things at a time. See, there we go, 3 ingots all at once. And let's see, I need 4 total diamond. I have a diamond. I'm going to need another basic capacitor. So if I come over here, get me a basic capacitor ready to go. Get me one of these guys ready to go. Pardon me. And then what else do I need? I need that diamond back out of this chest. There we go, diamonds. What can I put away? I can put away that Certus quartz. I can put away this redstone right now. This piece of coal, random piece of coal. The iron bars I can put away now. See, I'm just getting so much stuff in my inventory. I'm having inventory issues. All my chests are about full. I've got 3 full. So yeah, I'm going to need these guys real soon. And what I'm going to do over here probably is maybe start setting up my mass storage applied Energistics interface over here, maybe in the middle or someplace. I'm not sure, but it will it'll definitely need to go in soon. I'll look in here and get the rest of my tin out of there. Do I have everything in my inventory for this now? No, I need the quartz. I should have a bit of nether quartz. Oh, I have just enough to do this. So there we go. Painter. And this is a very fun block right here. So what this block is going to do is it's going to allow me to disguise all these blocks that have conduits in them with these guys right here. Do I have more of these? I should have a bunch of this. Yes, there we go. Go ahead, I'm going to make up a bunch of these. 9 of them. And for now, I'm just going to go... So how this works is you put the conduit facades in here, and then you tell it that, let's say I want it to look like stone, so you put a piece of stone in there, and then it'll paint all of these conduit facades to look like stone. And then what you do is you apply these conduit facades anywhere you want a disguised conduit. There we go. So now you can see it looks exactly like stone, but it's a conduit facade. And the way you see through these is you hold a wrench or something, some kind of tool, and then now I can see what's going on inside, and I can access the interface here. And I'll get more into this as we go along. I'll come back to this stuff for sure and do some more explaining on how these systems work. But for now, I'm just going to cover up these conduits. Right, like so. And I think I'm going to need a few more. Well, 2 more at least. And let me pull those out of there. I'm going to need, what? 2? Oh. There we go. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and make 8 of them because I will most likely use them in the long run. And these can be repainted at any time. So if I don't want them to be stone anymore, I can put a different block in there, paint them. This is also a nice way to fake people out, I guess. Like if I wanted, I could put an emerald block in there and have a bunch of fake emerald blocks, because they don't require a conduit to be placed. So you can paint any block. I mean, you can paint it with any block, and you could have use them as decoration or whatever. So they're nice for that. So there's that machine. And I think that's gonna be a short episode, I think. I just want to get some machinery in and show that stuff though. I'm not sure what other machinery I'm gonna put over here, but I'm probably gonna try to put some thermal expansion machines on this side, the ones that I'm gonna require. Gonna need the, like I said, magma crucible and fluid transposer induction smelter combination in order to make some of the stuff that I need. Now I might be able to skip that, because if I look at EnderIO, there is a dimensional transceiver, and this thing basically acts like a tesseract. and I might be able to use that instead of using the Tesseracts. It's pretty hard recipe because there's a lot of stuff involved. Like I got to make energetic alloy and the alloy smelter. I mean, it's no easier than the Tesseract. It's just a different way of using stuff. And I might do it just to be different, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be using Tesseracts because that's what they're familiar with, and there's nothing wrong with that. They work well too. I might even use maybe a combination of both. So anyway, this is going to be a short episode, and I just wanted to do some machinery stuff so that I got at least a little bit of it on camera, and I definitely wanted to go over the power options available in this pack. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go to sleep here in my carpenter's bed. What a view. Yeah, I'm going to go to sleep here in my carpenter's bed. And I think I'm going to go to bed in real life now too, because I am a bit tired. So, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave a like and comment. If you didn't, leave a comment anyway, because I'd like to know how I can improve on the next episode. This is Landstryder, and I will catch you later.